Your reasons for listening to the show, well, those are your own. But just keep in mind that the views, information, or opinions expressed on the Tuddle Daily Podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of our sponsors. Yeah, it's called free speech, people. Nobody's forcing you to listen.
Get ready for your daily dose of Tuddle.
The all-time greatest intern/producer we've ever had, of course, Tuddle. Tuddle in Florida.
From the Hobo Fish Camp, it's the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
No wonder nobody likes you, Tuddle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
Welcome to another edition of the Tuddle Daily Podcast. I've missed my buddy. I've missed my comatose. Did I get that right? It's been
comatose. I feel like a lost puppy. Like I was lost for a little bit, and then someone found me.
Serak, how are you?
I'm fantastic, man.
Did you almost say you were fucking great? You almost sound like you were like a fucking great.
Kicked off already. Like shit. At 5 seconds, the guy's already cursing his ass off. No, but I feel great, man. I just recently had a birthday, so you know.
Yeah. What are you? 32, 33?
32. I gotta start taking shit serious now. You know, I gotta really think about my next moves here.
Have you noticed? You know, I talk a lot about this. How time seems like it is going faster the older you get. Yeah.
It's like, especially since I can remember like last year this time, and it didn't seem so far ago.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, you know, the whole thing, the reason why they say that it seems like the older you get, time goes by faster is that when you're younger, you don't have a lot behind you in your past, you know? So at a certain point, your past becomes longer than a certain point in your life. And that's why it seems like it's all about perspective. Yeah. It's not that time's really speeding up. It's just the comparison of things. Like you got more time behind you. Like, fuck, where did all that time go?
Exactly.
You know?
And not only that, since like, I mean, you know when you're born, but you don't know like when you're going to die. So you don't know like where you're at as far as like the spectrum, you know, like, are you near the middle? Are you like at the end? Are you just starting? So it's, I don't know. It's freaky. It's, you know.
Would you want to know your expiration date?
Oh man. Yeah, that's a toughie. Yeah.
Now hear me out. Okay.
When you say expiration, that means nothing you can do to change it, right?
Yeah. Nothing you can do. Okay. I have a theory on that. If you knew when you were going, like this is the end date, it would make you more productive. Because because I think as humans, we forget that, you know, we don't have a lot of time on this planet. Mm-hmm. And we always think that we have more time.
Right.
And you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So if you knew you had an expiration date, you'd be like, all right, I got to get shit done. You know, I want to have a family. I want to experience this.
What about for people who like are like early expiration dates, like mid-20s or something like that? Like, do they get like some sort of like pass to where they can just do whatever they want just because it's, you know, they have such little time?
Yeah, but I mean, that could also be like a double-edged sword, though, too. You could get people that be like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I know when I'm going to die. I'm going to just go out and I'm going to create all types of havoc because guess what? I'm dying next week.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why you don't know your expiration date. Like, would you like go out and just kill all your worst enemies and just die the next day?
Yeah, be like, fuck it, I'm dying tomorrow, man. Fuck it, I'm going out. I'm killing everybody that did me dirty.
Dude, I'd be wild as hell. I'd be like stealing fucking Ferraris. Like, I would just be wild. I mean, I think everybody would be wild. I think in a perfect world, we would like to think that people would like appreciate and they work hard and, you know, they enjoy life. Nah, man. Mm-hmm. In reality, people would just it'd be chaos everywhere. People burning shit. You know, it would be insane.
Oh, well, that's why, like in all the movies, you know, when you watch movies and stuff, it's always like, oh, that's movie. The government would let us know. Like that one year that, you know, I don't even know how this happened, that Armageddon and Deep Impact both came out in the same goddamn year.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that happened. You also know that very same year, they had 2 volcano movies. They had Dante's Peak and Volcano. Like, was that the year of like somebody just being like, hey, I'm going to pitch 2 ideas to 2 different studios?
Yeah.
And do stuff like that. But
I think that happens just like with like Marvel movies. It's like it's all these superhero movies come out like in one summer, and it's DC, Marvel, all the same thing.
And now, but the reason I bring that up is that's why the government in those movies never tell us like, hey, there's a big ass asteroid that's going to kill everybody on Earth. And that's why they don't tell people, because they know as soon as they tell people, it's going to just be complete anarchy. Yeah. Everybody's going to just be fucking shit up. They're going to be stealing, robbing, raping, everything. I
don't blame them. And not only that, like, I mean, I don't think the government, like, I don't think they would tell us even like little shit. You know what I mean? like the serious stuff. Unless we would have to see like a freaking meteorite in the sky to like go to panic. Like, I don't know. If I'm in charge of the government or if I have any like say in what is like reported to the public, I'm not saying shit.
What about all the UFO reports and stuff that are coming out now? Like the government, the FBI and stuff, they're all like releasing this info. I think it's complete bullshit. I think they're kind of like, hey, how do we get the people to trust us more? Or we're going to say, oh my God, we got these we have these videos and reports. We're going to tell you that, yes, maybe we have or we haven't been.
Yeah, but the UFO thing is such a stretch, right? Until like there's actual clear footage and like, maybe you see an alien, like it's always like just a blur or some shit like that. It never really looks legitimate. So it kind of, people kind of just brush it off. And maybe that's
with CGI. With CGI and stuff as well, too, as bad as the footage always is, you know how easy it is to fake stuff like that?
Yeah. But like they always have like these like pilot accounts and stuff like that. Like, oh, I was flying and something.
They work for the government.
Real quick and, we don't know what it was. We just put that in the we don't know what it was file. Could have been a bird.
But back to the knowing your expiration date. I've talked about this a few times, and Larry King was interviewing Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he asked him, he was like, if you could live forever, would you? Or could you? Would you want that? And Neil deGrasse Tyson brought up a great point, is that the reason that the human society, the human race has advanced is because people know that they only have a short time here on Earth to be able to do stuff. Like if you were immortal, like a vampire or something, and you knew like, oh, I'm going to live forever. I mean, if you were like
you'd be lazy
bored or you were busy, you could be like, I'll just put it off until tomorrow.
But also though, like, okay, there's being immortal and then there's like being able to live forever. But that doesn't mean like you're not prone to like accidentally dying. I feel like if people were immortal, they would still die of like accidents like way more than they do now.
Okay, so what you're saying is, as long as you don't do something stupid like die in a car crash or what all right, so the parameters you're giving me is if you don't do something stupid or have bad luck, you're going to live forever. Like you're not going to get cancer. Your organs
you won't age
going to fail
or anything like that. Yeah, we'll just keep going. As long as you had like nutrition and food and stuff like that, you would just keep going.
Yeah, that's that, man. That's a great premise.
I would like that. I would like that instead of like the invincible, to where like even if you got in a car accident, you would still live, and you would just nothing could harm you.
But don't you think if you live forever though, you would procrastinate? I think that would be one of the trade-offs. Because you would. No, you would.
I think okay. So think of like right now, like with what Elon Musk is doing, and Jeff Bezos going into space and all that crap.
By the way, neither one of those motherfuckers. Have you seen the report? I'm sorry, I don't mean to jump in about how these rich assholes are not paying any taxes.
Oh, I mean that's how it is. I'm never mad at that. I mean, if they figured out how to make these companies into billion-trillion-dollar companies, I mean.
But me and you
to avoid taxes.
But me and you working paycheck to paycheck. If we ain't paying shit, guess what?
If you're the lucky 1%, like those are some of the perks. But on the other side, you have to deal with constant media, constant people in your business, constant. It's nonstop. You don't get like a day off to just take a break. It's just always working, always working, always working, always working.
But you brought up Bezos going to space, okay? Now, let me ask you.
2.6 million. Can you believe that?
Do you find it kind of curious that he is stepping down from Amazon as the CEO right before he's about to do this? There's either two things. There's either two things. There's either two things. He's not really getting on that rocket. Like they're going to make it and they got some type of like elevator that's going to bring him down to a tunnel that he can like escape out of. Yeah, this could all be a publicity stunt, or that bitch is going to blow up and he is faking his own death.
No, hell no. I think too many people would already think that to where like he couldn't do it. You know, I feel like faking your own death as a high profile businessman or celebrity, like that only works the first time with the first person. Like two people can't fake their deaths that are famous. Like it's
him and his brother though. Like, I mean, wouldn't you be able to trust your brother to keep a goddamn secret?
Yeah, but where would you go though? You're Jeff Bezos. It's not like, you know, you're some unrecognizable person. You would have to fake your death, get like a full body, you know.
No, like the movie
transplant.
Face Off with John Travolta and Nick Cage. You're the richest guy.
Listen, I seen it, but that surgery doesn't exist to switch faces.
No, it does.
It does.
It does.
Yeah. No, okay. It does. But you would look like the Goonies dude in the basement. That's like you would look like that.
Oh, Sloth. You're talking about Sloth. But
you wouldn't come out looking like Brad Pitt. You looking like an armpit.
But does it really matter when you're the richest guy in the world? You could be the ugliest motherfucker in the world and you're still getting pussy. I mean, I'm just being dead serious.
I feel bad, right? If you looked like a, I don't know, abominable snowman, like I'd feel bad talking to girls. You know, I'm like, ugh. Hey, listen, I know you probably don't want to do this, but I got a lot of money. I got a lot of money. So, and I went through a lot to get to this position in my life. So please.
Would it like, see, no, but like, I'm glad you bring that up. Like I've been in that situation. See, unlike you, I'm not like a good looking dude that's all jacked and ripped and everything. No homo, by the way. Listen, I'm pro homo, but what I'm saying is that what I'm saying though is like, no, but come on though, like seriously, and I want to get I'm glad you bring that up because I've talked about this week and I'll get into that. But I've been in the situations where like I've been with really, really hot girls that like I have no business having sex with this chick, and I'm like, I get in my own head. And maybe that's why I last a little bit longer. Like, you know, like I'm not saying like I'm packing some heat or anything.
Right.
But I think that's why I last a little bit longer because I'm always like, I'm in my head. I'm like, while I'm doing, I'm like, oh man, why is this chick letting me put my penis inside her?
Let me be memorable.
Yeah, you know, like
I want to be a future story for her.
I'm always like, what's her ulterior motive? Like, how is she gonna fuck me over in the long run?
Maybe she has like a bet going. That could people always think like the man side is something wrong. We never really think what the girls are thinking, right? She could have like a bet with some friends, like, hey, I bet I could.
Whoever fucks the ugliest dude
wins a Ferrari or something.
You know what though? Like, you know what? I wouldn't even be mad about that. Like, if I found out like a chick, you know, there's all these. Do you see? I'm a big movie guy.
You can't be mad, man, because there's always somebody hotter and there's always somebody uglier, regardless. So
yeah, like there's always going to be a bigger and badder dude. Like everybody thinks that they're the toughest guy. Like nobody can beat my ass or whatever.
Unless you like kill him
there's
afterwards.
Always somebody badder. There's always somebody badder.
Unless you kill him afterwards. Like that's the last. I'm gonna make sure I'm the baddest person for her and only her. You just murder her afterwards. I mean, I'm not saying do that, but. You know.
But there was this movie back in the day in the 90s. Do you remember? It was a movie, and it almost like makes me feel bad how much I like pay attention to movies and stuff.
Nah,
there was this movie back in the day. There was this movie in the 90s. She's All That, and a bunch of the dudes. They had a bet. They were like, "Oh, you know, like who can get the ugliest chick." And make her into the prom queen, you know, and take her out there. And then the chick finds out and she's all hurt and depressed. I would be like, hell yeah. Like I was a part of a bet. Like I'd be like, I got ass. And
I got attention.
Yeah, I got attention. I'm the prom queen. Well, I would be the prom king. You know what? Fuck it. I would
usually like the ugly ones in high school always turn out hot in the future anyway.
Yeah, and oh yes,
like it's rare. It's rare that you're hot in high school, and then you're also hot like by the time you're 30.
No, I've seen some of the chicks that I went to school with that had the worst acne in the world, and I've seen them. Look, all right, here I'll give you an example. Well, this isn't an example, but I have run into them where you look at them and you're like,
don't say their names.
what the
Don't
hell?
say their names.
What the fuck happened? But there was this one girl in high school that was the hottest fucking chick in the school. Everybody loved her. Everybody liked her. Okay. And then after school, like maybe like 8 years later, 10 years later, after graduation, I'm working on the Drew Garabo radio show here in Orlando. Okay. And we used to once a week broadcast from the Orlando Magic basketball game.
Okay.
Which is really, really fucking cool that you get to do the radio show and watch an NBA basketball game at the same time. Now, the whole thing is that another radio station owned the rights to the broadcasting thing. So we could talk about, hey, come out to the game and stuff, but we could not mention the score or what was going on. We would come up with like,
damn, that must have been hard to do though, because I'd be like watching.
No, but we would come up with like creative ways of like, you know,
like the score of the soccer game is 30-35,
or it'd be like, you know, how much is that hot dog? You know, it's like it's $1.14. Well, what about the burgers? Oh, the burgers they're $1.10. You know,
right? Or like, what movie we watching with all these people here?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, we used to go to the Orlando Magic basketball games and do that stuff, and they wanted to bring some of the Orlando Magic cheerleaders up to do an interview with the show.
What do you ask a cheerleader?
Well, yeah,
no offense to any cheerleaders out there that's listening,
the
but
dancers or whatever.
Wondered.
Okay, but the chick that I was talking about, the one that was the hottest girl in the school, fucking sits down. I didn't even know she was an Orlando Magic dancer.
So she stayed hot.
Yeah, she stayed hot, but like,
God, that's a hell of an achievement.
But she never showed me any attention when I was in high school. But you know, when I was the co-host of a radio show, it was kind of like, she wanted to talk to me after the show. And I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, nothing ever happened.
What a
but
fake. Oh my God, you went to Jesuits High School too? Oh yeah, I remember you. I used to cheat up your test and all that shit.
I don't know. I just always thought that was kind of cool. Even though nothing happened, it was kind of like, yeah, bitch, you couldn't even like show me the time of day. But like, you know, when you're on the radio show that I'm on.
That's how people are though, you know? And you can't, and high school is a weird period to where like people are just assholes and you know what I mean? It's like they tend to change. I feel like after high school, I feel like no one really stays in the same like mentality as they were in high school.
Are you still friends with anybody from high school?
Hell yeah. Matter of fact, my one of my good friends, Joseph, he flew down to surprise me for my birthday. Him and another buddy, and yeah, I mean, coming from like a small town, well, it's not small, but from Grand Rapids, Michigan, is like I went to a really big high school. So,
what was your graduating class? How many people?
I don't know, maybe like 1,100, maybe or something like that.
If you had to guess, what was it? What do you think was in my graduating class?
Oh man, let's see, Florida. Well, Florida has like a lot of like small schools, I feel like, but so I'm gonna say I don't know, like 500. Is that too much?
No, 68 people.
Oh my God! So you guys, like, if you see each other out in public, it's like a
we knew everybody.
Oh man.
Our school was 7th grade to 12th grade. And I think the whole entire school, well, the middle schoolers, it was such a middle school and high school. Like they kept the middle schoolers like in a separate region of the school campus. But
the middle schoolers in a cage and, you know,
but
we poke
as
them
a
with
middle
cattle
schooler,
prods.
It's like going to jail. Like if you're a middle schooler and you're you know, you got to be segregated from the high schoolers, because if you're a middle schooler, and there were times like we had to ride the bus as middle schoolers with the high schoolers, and you would get fucked with so badly.
Oh, I bet. We had the similar deal. We had a freshman campus though.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah. So it was very rarely that the middle, but it was only 600 people in the whole entire school from 7th grade to 12th grade.
Oh man, that must. Yeah. But like it's still, but you know, knowing everybody is good though too, right? Because then I don't know. I feel like I'd rather be at a small, you know, very exclusive, maybe even private type of school to where like you literally, like you said, know.
Did you go to private school?
No, but actually, yeah. I went to private school for shit. It's hard to remember. First or second grade or third grade. I can't remember. But I will say this: even though it was tiny, it was like some Lutheran Catholic. I don't know, some church school. But even though it was tiny, like I learned so much because, like, I remember we had moved, so I went from private to public, and I think it was the third or fourth grade, and everything the teacher was telling me in the third and fourth grade, I knew like 2 years ago. So I was like 2 years ahead. It was weird. Like you learn a lot fucking more really fast. And you'd be like, when you're a kid, you're not really thinking about like the differences. But like now as an adult, I'm like, holy shit, I see why people pay big money for private.
No, I mean, I went there 1 year because my dad pulled me out of elementary school because, he thought that he hated the teacher.
Oh,
for some reason. I don't even know why. I
used to hook up with her. Like, you can't go to the school, so the teacher's terrible.
Yeah, I went to a private school. I went to a Baptist school for a year, and actually posted the picture on my social media where I won the spelling bee. Yeah, well, no, the one. Yeah, well, I got Pete Davidson and Eminem. Everybody said I look like Pete Davidson too, and I was like, "What?" So it looks like I haven't taken what? It looks like I haven't taken a shower in 2 weeks. Because Pete Davidson always looks like he needs to desperately take a shower.
Pete Davidson looks like he's like constantly waiting on his drug dealer to show up. Like he just is he here yet? Like peeking out the window type shit. Nah, you look more like Slim Shady, man. Pete Davidson is too young for you. You know what I mean? That's like,
well, dude, I was in my early 20s in that picture, asshole.
I know, but like it just, I don't know. Like Slim Shady is you guys look identical in that picture.
Do you know that I actually, when I worked at Real Radio in Orlando, over in Daytona, they used to have BCR. Did you ever hear about BCR? Well, it's kind of like Freaknik that they used to have up in Atlanta at one point. But
what is Freaknik?
It's just a gathering. It's like a black spring break type stuff. Okay.
Oh, kind of like what's the one here in Tampa? The Splash Fest or something like that.
Well, we had BCR in Daytona, which was Black College Reunion, because Bethune-Cookman College is over there.
Okay.
Now, they sent me over when I worked at Real Radio as an intern, and Eminem, because they had a concert series, and Eminem was the headliner there, okay?
Uh-huh.
So they made me bleach my hair completely blonde. I did that stuff on my own. And I left that stuff on for way too long, to the point where I actually burned my scalp. Like I had little scabs in my head on my scalp because I had burned it for like so long. And they made me go out. I dressed as Slim Shady, just like from the Stand video with the guy with the wife beater and stuff.
Yeah.
And I went out there and interviewed, and I was kind of like, you got to remember, this is when I first started in radio. This was before I just didn't give a fuck that I would walk up to anybody.
This is like the Jackass version of you, the Steve-O version.
Yeah, so I went out there to do interviews, and I was like scared to death. Like, I got to tell you, man, it was some of the nicest people that I have ever met.
Wait. Time out. Backtrack. Why were you scared?
Well, because I was the only cracker ass motherfucker.
You're scared. Why would you? So what? Look at me. I work in a bar. I'm the only black person in like a 30-mile radius, I feel like.
Yeah, but like, okay, do you want me to be? I'll be honest, okay? It is easier for an African American to go into a white audience than what it is for a white guy to go into a black audience. Because
that's not true. That's just a mental thing. I swear it is. It's a mental thing. After
what my people did to your people, it's like, look at this. Let's get our reparations. Fuck this dude. You know, like you gotta.
Riot.
I know it's white guilt. It's white guilt at its finest.
Boo, just boo it for no reason. Boo. I'd say maybe like in comedy, yeah, but besides that, I mean, I don't know. Maybe because I'm black, I don't really see it that way, but.
Okay. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing about how great we are working with each other is that we have both different opinions on things, and we can actually talk about.
Listen, I can go into the most countryest hick bar and freaking do karaoke. Actually, I did that one time in high school.
I don't know, buddy. I know some places. I know some places around here.
Listen,
that you might
listen.
not want to
When
do
I'm
that.
ever in doubt, if there's ever any side of trouble, I just yell out Darius Rucker in some type of relation. I'm like, you know Darius Rucker? Yeah, that's
You're
my
gonna just
that's
start
my
doing
great
wagon wheel song that Darius
That's
Rucker.
my uncle is Darius Rucker. No shit. Yep.
Wait,
swear to God.
Your uncle's Hootie?
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab him real quick. I'll be right back. Just
And you
drive
could have
off.
just gotten any black guy that was with you and be like, yo, this is Hootie. And they'd be like, yo, dude, I'm your biggest fan, because white people would be like, oh, you know, like they're not going to call you out. They'd be like, oh, yeah, that's Hootie.
The TV adds 10 pounds or some shit like that. Who knows?
So I want to talk about you went to a wedding.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
You have, how long have you been with your chick, your girlfriend?
Was it June? 3.5 years, maybe? Yeah, 3.5, 3.5. Oh, I guess 3.6.
So is this the first wedding that you have gone to with her?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, though, this is the first wedding I've been to since like my sister got married like 15 years ago.
Okay. Now, you do know, like, when you take the girl that you're dating to a wedding, it's going to, you know, pit ideas into people's heads.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Was any of that stuff
lucky.
brought up?
No, because so the wedding I went to was my.
That wasn't a good no. That was like, nah, like.
I mean,
yeah,
people always ask, but I got lucky because the wedding we went to was my cousin's, and it was in Oklahoma, and the bride's family lives in Oklahoma, so it wasn't really like
Who
a lot
lives in Oklahoma.
That's what I
man?
fucking said. Like we got to Tulsa, and like there's nobody there. Like I'm like, what? No. It's like a farmland, and we went.
It's a very white, very very white.
I don't know. It was nobody there. Like I thought it was like the set of like The Walking Dead. Like we went to a restaurant for like brunch on Saturday, and like I mean there were people there, like a handful of people, but like throughout the city, it was like a ghost town. Like I honestly thought if you ever watched The Walking Dead, there was nobody on the streets. It was cloudy. It was just like, where the fuck are we right now? And we went to the venue afterwards, did that whole shebang, and we flew out before the sun even came up. So I don't know, man. Tulsa's, I'm sure it's cool to the people that live there, but it's not a place like, hey, you should go to Tulsa. Like, nah, I'm straight. It's boring as hell.
The only thing I know about Tulsa is watching Live PD, where that Styx guy works on the gang unit. Sean Larkin. Because he's become famous. He's actually dating Lana Del Rey now. How badass is that?
Who's Lana Del Rey?
You don't know who Lana Del Rey is?
What is she? What is she in?
She's a musician.
What does she sing? I mean, what is she like?
I mean, you wouldn't be into her music.
Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's like one of those like not crooners, because men are crooners. But yeah, Lana Del Rey is one of those weird like singers. But I mean, she is hot. I think she is.
Oh yeah, she's pretty. Yeah, she is. She's
okay.
She's in The Great Gatsby and some other things.
Yeah, this guy is a cop working in the Tulsa gang unit, and he gets on Live PD, and then he somehow lands Lana Del Rey. That's the only thing that I know about Tulsa.
How the fuck did that happen? Because the Tulsa gang unit literally covers like 1 square block of Tulsa. Like there's literally nobody there.
But good for him though. Like
he must have something on there.
No, that or he's got a big ass dick or something.
Yeah, but when would they ever have met? When did they meet? In Oklahoma?
Like, no.
I just wonder, like, what do these people
was
meet?
A fan of YPD. Maybe she just liked a white guy that's got an arm sleeve tattoo, put black men in jail.
Listen,
that's a guy that I want to be with.
Slide his DMs like, oh, great job on the show today. What are you doing later?
Yeah, what are you doing later? You work in the gang unit?
You work in the gang unit? That turns me on.
Yeah.
Turns me on.
So like, what's the plan, man? What's the plan, Stan? Like, you went to this wedding 3 years now. 3 years.
3.5
is a really, really long time. And like you just said, you just had a birthday.
It is a long time.
You're not getting any younger.
That's true. I mean, it is a long time, but time has gone by
between what's the age difference? Are you guys about the same age?
Yeah, she'll be 32 in October.
dude, you just fucked up.
Why?
You're not supposed to tell a woman's age.
Okay, well then she'll be
It's
older
already
in
too late.
October. She'll be older in October.
God damn, man.
I don't know, man. I don't follow the rules, the rules of the man rules when it comes to what to say and what not
without
to
being
say.
disrespectful, I got to tell you, and this is just me. I'm
Never
not
say
being
the age.
disrespectful. Your chick is hot though. Like you did
Aw,
very
thank
very well
you.
for yourself.
Thank you. She's a sweetheart, man. And this past weekend has been crazy. You know, she set up this whole birthday ordeal with she flew. Well, she didn't fly my friends in, but you know, they flew in. I didn't know Thursday. She set up like a pool party for some of my friends down here in Tampa. I mean, it's just been great, and like none of this I was expecting. And I'm not like a really big birthday guy or even like a
No, I'm not
celebration
either.
guy. But last year I got COVID on my birthday, so that kind of sucked. So I mean, maybe that's just making up for that. But yeah, man, she's been great. And
All right.
you know, after the wedding, we went back to my parents' place in Michigan, and yeah, that went well. So I don't know, man. 12 months, maybe it'll be a different story, and you know, we'll see what happens, man. Don't put any voodoo out there, but
Okay.
we'll see. What happens.
All right. So the best question is, you know, when I was married and I was with my wife, birthdays, men actually, you know, I was always like, this was like, did you get birthday sex? Is what I'm trying to say.
Not yet, man. I was tired of shit.
God damn it!
I was exhausted, man. I like, you know how hard it is going
No,
from
but
like
birthday is supposed to be like you get something that you usually don't get. Like you know how you see what I'm saying? Like
we
know,
have,
like
well, we have sex quite a bit. I feel like to where
Of-
like it's
of
not like
course,
it's not like
but,
a reward anymore. You know what I mean?
oh, yeah, I'm not saying it's a reward, but like that's how guys think. They're like, it's my birthday. Maybe I get something a little bit different.
I would say if you were like
maybe
just,
she dresses up for you, or you do some role playing or something like that.
I feel
And
like
if you don't feel comfortable talking about this, just tell me that it's
no,
none of my business.
That's maybe like a Valentine's Day thing. Like I feel like if you just met a girl and you guys are just talking, and just so happens to be like, okay, say you're talking for like a month or two, right? Whatever. Maybe you haven't had sex. Maybe that's like a reward, you know, on your birthday. But like when you've been dating for over 3 years, it's just like, you know, you gotta do all that. Plus, I was recovering. Like my birthday was actually Monday, and I felt like shit. I was so tired from the weekend.
I thought you were on the sober train.
Yeah, I slipped up. I haven't talked to you since before the wedding. So I drank at the wedding.
Let me guess, you had to go find an IV place in Tulsa.
No, they didn't have one in Tulsa, but I drank at the wedding.
Oh, they got IV places, but they're putting other things in you instead of, you know,
exactly.
like methamphetamines or something like that.
Yeah. Or what's that cop again? The gang
Sticks,
unit
yeah.
cop. Yeah, you got to watch out for him. But yeah, man, it was just a domino effect. I drank at the wedding and pretty much the whole month of May. So that's why I've just been MIA. I haven't like really done any shows. I haven't, you know, been in the gym as much as I want. So as of today, June 9th.
I think I'm catching up with you, man.
You might be, man.
You're a little bit shorter than me, even though you look like thicker and more like bulky than me. Like, I mean, I got that lean, long muscle. So,
yeah, you know, there. What are you, 177? 177?
No, actually, you just nailed it. I swear to God, that's what I weighed this morning.
See, look at that. I can just tell by the sound of your voice how much you weigh.
But the thing is that I, that's why people should not like jump on the scale a lot, because like I got down on myself for a while because I was like, fuck, why am I gaining weight? Why am I gaining weight? But then I was looking in the mirror. I was like, I looked skinnier than what I did when I was like heavy, when I was fat.
Wait, you look skinnier than you did?
Well, what I'm saying is that like, even though like I'm putting on weight, which is more muscle, that I actually look better. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're shedding some fat too, so you're gonna look a little bit leaner, you know, in areas that you know would usually be pudgy or you know flabby. I mean, do you feel good?
No, I feel great, man. Like you know, a lot of people are like, you know, people want to talk about that runner's high and stuff like that, but it is like I used to think that shit was bullshit. But after I've had a really, really good workout, like you do get a little bit of that endorphin, like chemical release.
Yeah, that's you know, I watched this podcast, and I think I told you this before with this guy Andrew Huberman. He's like a neuroscientist, and he said what keeps like men going. I just whistled, by the way, on accident. But what keeps men
What do you got,
going?
dentures now? Like,
I don't
old
know.
men with dentures whistle.
I might. I got a dentist appointment at 3, so I might be getting dentures. But you say what keeps guys going, like testosterone levels, like pretty well into their mid to late 30s and 40s is competition and exercise. So
yeah, working out. Like, I've noticed that. Like, okay, me working out and everything. Like, I have been like more like, all right, I gotta meet chicks. I
right.
gotta hook up. I got, like the testosterone. Like, it definitely does. It is there. Because I've gone through when I was on all those mood stabilizing drugs that were it absolutely killed my sex drive.
Yeah.
And now that I've been working out, I'm like, yes, I got
dehydrates you and everything. And girls, I'm telling you, man, Tuddle, girls they can smell that shit, man. like it's like with
it's called pheromones.
Yeah, man. When you're hitting the gym hard, you feeling fucking good, and you're fucking eating raw chicken bones and shit. Like, I'm telling you, man, girls are like, oh my god, who you see that guy over there eating those chicken wings? He looks kind of looks like Slim Shady a little bit. Let's go talk to him. Like, that's
so should I go back to the blonde hair, or
you should try it. You should try it. I'd say try it.
Make me look like, hey, that's the 40-year-old dude trying to be cool.
Nah, man. Silver Fox. Nah, man, you should try it.
Oh, dude,
because you have the hair to do it. That's the thing. Like, I was talking to my buddy the other day. He's bald. Like, he's not like completely bald, but he has to like shave his head fully or it's gonna look weird. And he's like, man, if I had hair still, like, I'd be trying all types of shit. So you got hair still, Tuddle, I would say go for it, and you can always take it out if you don't like it.
Talking, I've been talking a lot about my pops, my dad, and stuff. The last time that I saw him before he passed, dude still had the thickest head of hair. Boom. And I know that a lot of people say that you get the hair gene from your mother's side. Hell, my grandfather, when he passed, motherfucker had full head of hair. It was gray, white, but
that's great.
It was thick as hell.
That's great. That's such.
I think I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good.
You know what's crazy, man? That's such a even though it's just hair, it can really
it demoralizes guys. Yeah, so it really does.
Yeah, think of two guys at the same age, we'll say like 30, and one has a full head of hair, and one is like extremely balding. Like, it
the
changes.
One looks younger.
Yeah, not only that, but it's just confidence too. It can change literally the outcome of your life depending on how you feel at a certain age or how you look.
All right, let me ask you this. I don't have any on top of my head, but I'm not very good at growing facial hair, but I'm starting to get gray in the facial hair. Do I let it ride or do I dye it?
Let it ride. I think one of the coolest looks is when it's black and gray, when you get black or whatever color your hair is.
A little bit of that contrast.
Let me see.
Well, I mean, here, for example, once again, George Clooney. George Clooney,
George. You can't compare to celebrity because they got the money, the makeup team.
I understand that, but Brad Pitt, everybody says that these other guys are getting sexier as they get older. Like, men are allowed to age gracefully more than women. Like, I'll give you an example in TV news.
Okay.
Like, they'll keep a guy around that gets older around a lot longer, but women have a shelf life when it comes to TV news media.
Yeah. Young and hot. After that, it's just annoying old lady bitch. Yeah. But it's a guys don't use foundation and all types of skincare and products and all this stuff that would ruin your skin. I've been
starting to do that more. When I was married, my wife, you know what, even though at the time I thought she was staying, just nagging me. But self-care, guys, they don't do self-care.
No, I mean, they to an extent, right? I mean, you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you shower, you sometimes use lotion. It depends on,
I use lotion every day. I scrub down, I scrub hard as fuck.
Yeah. But
when I'm in the shower.
A lot of people don't. I use lotion because I just thought that was what I was supposed to do every day, and I still
Well,
do.
is it because of the ashy thing? I'm not trying like.
Yeah, it is. It is 100%. And I found out one of my white buddies, he never uses lotion, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Dude, I do all the time. I do like I get almost to the point where it's like if you shook my hand, like you'd be like, oh, what the fuck, man?
What
like,
were you
but
doing before this?
no, but like I do that though, and people don't realize that. Like, if you moisturize your skin, right before I got married, and I was in my mid-20s, my wife ended up not making me, but asking me to get Botox because she wanted great wedding pictures.
Wait, for you to get Botox?
Yeah, I got Botox before my wedding.
Where'd you get it?
Pictures. Around my eye, because like when I smile, I get the kind of like the crow's feet. Like I got a little bit of wrinkles around my eyes, but hey.
Yeah, but like once you do that shit, man, like there's no turning back. That's the thing. You
I only had
it. It's like a drug. You get a little taste. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, well, my eyes are looking kind of just like with me getting the IVs. Like you get a little taste, and it's just like every time I drink something, boom, boom, going straight to get an IV to recover.
Yeah, I know this one chick that over in Tampa that's a friend of a friend that I don't want to mention his name, but like she like does semen facials.
What?
Like no, like not like facials.
I mean, I guess that's not weird.
Porn, but she like will like have guys finish in a certain place. She'll rub it in and like leave it sitting for a while and then wash it off.
Is that like healthy for her skin?
I don't know. Like from what I hear, that it's supposed to be good for women's hair.
Well, then why did she put it on her face?
I don't know, but like she did that. I look, man, I'm not gonna judge her.
Who is this person? I mean, you don't have to say their name.
And then maybe the guy that I lived with for a little while, friend.
Just text me this semen lady
I'll just
doctor.
say it.
And I'm just gonna I'm curious.
Cold knows a woman that does that instead of wearing like apricot mask, she wears fucking jizz mask.
Oh my god! And she pays for it?
No. Like,
what? I mean,
why would she have to pay for it when she can like? All right, hey dude, I'll jack you off.
That means that you're not valuing your own semen, right? You got to value your own semen, especially if someone's using it for some type of advantage. So
what are you saying? Like semen's going to become the new cryptocurrency?
Hey, you never know. You never know. Can you imagine that? If that was like, that would be a game changer. Forget that how you look. It'd be women chasing after you. Like, please,
guys, just
please, I need the miracle semen.
Jacking off in the subway. Got to make this money.
Yeah.
Gotta make this money. Oh, I'm in the public bathroom.
Definitely a man's idea.
I'm making money. I'm at work right now, man. I gotta fucking get this crypto semen out of me.
But your shift will be like 30 minutes, and that'd be it for the whole day. On and off, 30 minutes, take a break, have a sandwich, get back to it.
What is your record for the amount of days that you have masturbated in one day?
My record? I don't know.
Yeah, like how many? Like
maybe
have you
3
like?
Times. I don't know. I don't really keep count.
Even in the teenage years, like every chance I had.
I can't even remember. But I would say probably 3, just to be safe. Just go with 3, over under. 1 or 2, I don't know.
You haven't lived until you got into the double digits.
3, because like I feel like after 2, you kind of feel bad. Like what the fuck? Like you.
Oh, that's the other thing. Like
after 2, you like depressed.
With my mental problems, like I like at the time when you're doing it, feels great. When you're done, you always feel like shame.
Yeah.
Like when you're rinsing your hands off in the sink or something. You're looking in the mirror and you're like, what am I doing? What a
and imagine like your semen looking up, just like, bro, like this is not where we're supposed to be. Like, what? You gotta at least give us a chance. You gotta at least give us a chance.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh God. All right. Well, listen. I want to get on a regular schedule with you.
Yes, please.
What I'm trying to say is I want to go podcast steady with you.
Oh, it's like we're dating.
Do I need
Kind
to
of.
give you
It is Pride Month.
a podcast promise ring or something?
That'd be kind of dope, actually, if I had a podcast. Like, that'd be kind of dope, right? Like, anytime you were near a microphone, like, your shit would start, like, changing color.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's
So,
hot in here.
well,
Oh, my God. I'm sweating. Oh, my God. Someone give me a
Well-
microphone quick.
well, and just to let you guys know, like, I've talked about this before. Me and Serak did not show prep for this at all.
No,
Like,
dude.
seriously, like, he just texted me 5 minutes before and had question mark. Because
Listen,
I was busy. I had my mind because I got to go pick up Dad's ashes today. So I had
don't
my
say
mind
that.
in a different place.
You know what's weird, though, Tuddle? Like, I don't know if it's just around me, but, like, your dad passed away recently, and then a friend of mine's dad passed away last week. And then my best friend that flew out, I was telling you about this from Michigan, Joseph, his dad passed away like 6 months ago. Am I just getting to that age where, like,
Yeah,
my
people
friends'
are
parents
starting
are
to drop
dying
like
a lot?
flies, man.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? I better call my dad after this or something.
I'm just saying, we've all seen people, friends, family go
Yeah.
through losing loved ones, and we have compassion for them, but until it happens to you,
Right. You never know.
dude, you never know. It's like, you know,
That's why, like, I don't really like say anything. I'm not really like super like sincere or
but Ciroc,
condoling
you
because I don't know what to
you got-
say. You know, I just let it be.
the best thing to do is just talk to a person.
Okay.
You know, like I got texts. You didn't need to say anything. You didn't need to go anything. Just somebody reaching out and say, "Hey, I'm sorry." Just
Right.
"I'm sorry" is all I need because it shows that you took the time to reach out and care enough
Oh yeah.
to just say, "I'm sorry."
Any
I
fucking
mean-
time, man. And you know, the sad part is like, you know, there's no excuses like, you know, in this day and age, right? If this was 20 years ago, maybe, but I mean, a text, a phone call, it takes like 5 seconds at the most, you know? So I don't know.
And the worst part about it is it being fresh. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've had to do is I've just been staying busy. Like the 3 days right after my pops passed,
Mhm.
like I probably got 4 to 5 hours of sleep in 3 days.
Oh man.
And it was because I just want to stay busy. When I was staying busy, I was not thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I know that's not a healthy way to go about it. It's
Yeah,
just not.
but there's never a healthy, you know what I mean? Like there's no like formula for what to do.
And with it being fresh, Serak, the problem that I've had is that you get those moments where you forget that the person is gone.
Right. And then
You know,
something
and-
reminds you of it.
And then something reminds you, and it's like losing that person like 5 times a day, having to go through that. Like I was driving home and my dad loves his Sprite Zero. And I was driving home
They
and I
still
was
make
like, oh,
those?
I got what? Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, I gotta stop and get this Sprite Zero. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't. He's not here anymore.
You hear a whisper in your ear like, you still got to stop and grab this Sprite Zero.
No, but I know, but and listen, I don't want people to think I'm going to be talking about this for the rest of my life on the podcast and stuff, but I'm talking about it because, you know, who knows? There could be somebody in the audience going through the same thing that I'm going through.
Exactly. And that's what, you know, sometimes people can take for granted. It's like, oh, well, it hasn't happened to me yet, or it already happened to me, you know, but
But it's going to happen to everybody one day. That's the one thing, you know, everybody wants to talk about race, creed, religion, sexual orientation, differences between people. But the one common thing we all have in common is that we are all going to have to lose a loved one.
Yep.
We're all going to die ourselves.
maybe that's why, like, to go back to kind of where we started at the beginning of the show, maybe that's why, you know, I probably wouldn't want to live like be immortal or, you know, invincible. You know, like you would just
have to.
you would never have to really suffer
it would
loss.
just be like losing people nonstop.
Huh.
You know, because if you were immortal and everybody else wasn't, because
you probably care less
movie,
though. right? You would care less.
Yeah, no, but the movie Interview with the Vampire, one of the common themes was all of the people, like they couldn't get close to people because they would constantly just fall in love with people, marry them, watch them grow old to die.
Oh no,
and go through that.
I'm saying if like everybody was immortal,
Yeah.
then I guess you wouldn't really, you lose somebody, but because it'd be so many.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. All right, Serak. Well, I thought this was a great show today. Tell people how they can check out your podcast.
Oh yeah, of course. So podcast is the weekly review. You can check it out on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, whatever they call it these days. Spotify as well. Just type in either the weekly review, obviously, or you can type in my name, which is a lot more unique. It's Serak. I know, unfortunately, not actually like the liquor, but I promise I taste way better. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you like it. And if you don't like it, then you can kiss my, what.
All right, Serak, have a wonderful day, and I hope you're well, my friend. Let's keep at this.
All right, no problem, buddy. You too. Take care.
All right, man. Say it, bye.
And that's the show for today. Thanks for listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Hey, don't be a dickhead. Do us a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to the show. Also, check out the Tuddle category at 315live.com. The Tuddle Daily Podcast is brought to you by Starfire Transport, StitchYouUp.com, and PocketPairClub.com. Special thanks to show producer Vulture and co-host Serak. Show voiceover services brought to you by jcvoiceover.com and The Little Cheese Show. Download and subscribe to The Little Cheese Show everywhere podcasts are found. If you want to help support the show, go to paypal.me/TuddleOnTheRadio. You have something you want to say? Tuddle@gmail.com or leave a voicemail at 407-270-3044. To follow all Tuddle social media, go to Tuddle.net. That's Tuddle with 2Ds.net. Thanks again for all your support, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
A society grows great when old men plant trees, the shade of which they know they will never sit in. Good people do things for other people. That's it, the end.